Today I will show you how I created this awesome science fiction photo manipulation. So let's start. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another really fun Photoshop episode. It took me around 4.5 hours to create this photo manipulation completely from scratch, and today I will show you how I did it. I will walk you through the process, so sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. I'm sure that you will pick up some really cool ideas from this episode. I started my project with a sketch, nothing special, nothing fancy, just a quick rough sketch, just to get a base idea where and how I want my elements to be in the final project. Then I tried to find some proper images for my base background plate. So I ended up using this photo as my main background photo. I warped it a little bit, transformed it just to fit the scene even better. From another photo I used this rock, as you can see, stretched it a little bit and positioned it where I want it to be. Then I used the shape tool and made these really cool perspective lines, and they're here to help me to match the perspective even better. Then I use this photo as the right side wall of the canyon that I'm making here, and I just quickly remove parts that I don't want to be visible, and also use another photo, as you can see right here, and use it as a ground, as the sand down on the ground. And then I went to Cinema 4D to create that sci-fi city that I have in my mind. So it's really simple and easy process. I just used one cylinder and modified and made that city. So everything that you're seeing here is made just out of one simple cylinder. It's simple and easy process, and now I will let you watch this speeded up process of making this city. And now that I finished with Cinema 4D, I rendered out the scene and put it as a layer in Photoshop. So now I played with that layer, I add a layer mask, I masked out the right part of that city to make impression that it's actually buried inside this right wall of the canyon. So just by masking out a few parts here and there, you get that impression that it's actually buried inside that right part of the canyon wall. Also, I modified that right part of the canyon wall a little bit by going into a liquify tool and just stretch it to the left to get a little bit more curvy parts there. Then I went to Envato Elements for some really cool 3D models. By the way, Envato Elements is sponsor for today's episode, and in case you don't know, Envato Elements is awesome, huge website with millions of assets that you can use basically for any project that you're making. They have millions of stock photos, bunch of stock videos, audio files, sound effects, Photoshop brushes and actions, Illustrator vector files, a lot of stickers, a lot of Premiere Pro and After Effects templates, video intros and outros. So for example, both my video intro and outro are from Envato Elements, a lot of lower thirds, callouts and so on and so forth. Also, they have a bunch of graphic templates, web templates, WordPress templates, PowerPoint presentation, you name it. One really cool thing that I liked about Envato Elements is that they have a bunch of 3D models, and for me as a photo manipulation artist, besides stock photos, 3D models are really useful and important thing to have, especially that you can find any model that you want, you like, and then you can rotate it in all three axes and find the proper angle that you need for a current project, just download it and put it there. You will see that on example because I will use several 3D models from Envato Elements in today's project. Also, they're pretty affordable. The annual plan, if you go with the annual plan, then it's $16.5 per month. But if you just want to try 1 month or 2 months just to see how it looks, then it's $33 per month. The price is doubled. But because they're sponsoring today's episode, if you follow the link down there in the description, they're giving you guys more than 70% off. So you will get, instead of 33% for 1 month, you will get it for $9. So it's awesome opportunity. It's limited. So make sure to grab this chance and follow the link down there in the description and just apply for 1 month. See if that's something for you. If it is, awesome. You can continue with the subscription. If not, you can just leave it, no questions asked. I personally love Envato Elements, using it all the time. Right now, let's jump back into Photoshop and let's continue with this breakdown. So here at the Envato Elements, I choose several different angles of this same sci-fi car. It's really cool 3D model. I downloaded them to my computer and then one by one I put them here into Photoshop and experimented a little bit with the numbers of cars and of course the distance from the camera. Also from time to time I like to horizontally flip my whole scene and to see mistakes even better, and actually this time I liked the flip version of the scene, so I ended up using the flip version instead of the started version of the scene. Also, as you can see, I changed a little bit the position and the distance of these vehicles, and then I went to Envato Elements just one more time to download another version of the car from another angle because I want to place a few more cars down below the ground. One is flying a little bit more above the second one is smaller one, and it's parked on the ground. As you can see, I put a shadow down below it just to glue it with the ground. Also, I just moved the cars here and there just to see if something fits better, but this is how I like it. Also, I flipped the scene one more time to see some mistakes and then flip it back over because I liked actually this version of the scene. And now I grouped all the vehicles into one group, put exposure adjustment level at the top, clip it to the group, make everything darker, and then with the layer mask I made just a few parts brighter where I want actually that bright parts to be, to blend it even better with the scene. Then I use really cool technique that I actually explain you in one tutorial that I dedicated to this. It's how to weather things. So I make the cars a little bit more weathered out, like they're used already, a lot of dirts and scratches on the car, and I have full dedicated tutorial on that. You can check it out if you want to know more in depth how to do it. Also, I use my own custom weather brush and you can get them for just $1 at my website. You can follow the links down there in the description. After I finished weathering the cars, I created a new layer where I want to paint a thickness on that canyon wall where the city is buried inside, so just to have a little bit more depth in it. And for that I just use the color of the canyon in normal blending mode and just paint out that border, basically, that's it. Also, I painted a little bit more dust and dirt on the city itself. Then after I finished that, I went back to Envato Elements and found the 3D model of that astronaut, found the proper angle and just put them in the scene. You will see it's barely visible, but I like to add some kind of small details in my photos like that. Also, these airlock doors, I put it all the way down in the ground, like it's entrance to the cave where you can go with the elevator to that city all above up, and also move that vehicle and the astronaut near the doors, like he's going inside there. Also, these cannons, like some defense mechanism to the top of the right part of the city. I downloaded 3 different versions of the same cannon and just blend them a little bit better with the scene, make them darker and brighter on some parts where they need to be brighter. That's basically it. Then I did the global dodge and burn thing with the curves adjustment layers. I brightened up a few parts, darkened down a few parts. As you can see, the city on the left in the canyon, it's much better blend now with the scene. Brighten up that city in the front. And also I created the new layer with the 50% gray, add a little bit noise there and put that noise on these 3D elements. And here I ended up making a hole in this city where probably these cars, these vehicles are flying in or out of that hangar or whatever it is. So I just paint that hole with regular colors in Photoshop, then went to Envato Elements and used these cannons because I love to have something like defense mechanism in this hangar there and just place them there, match the colors, match the brightness. Again, I used this really cool wall, Sci-fi wall, and I placed it on the right side here, blended with this wall, and I think it's really nice fit here. And then again I add a little bit more glow here and there on the cars, on every single engine. This is really simple technique. I have full dedicated tutorial on how to create glows in Photoshop. Also I have a full playlist of tutorials where I use the glow effect and a few different techniques, few different ways how you can create really cool glow in Photoshop. So check that out if you want to make really nice glows on your elements, because that will impact the image a lot. See how just by adding these glow elements you are making the image much more interesting and more pleasing to the eyes. It's really cool. Also here you will see that I made a photo black and white because from time to time I love to turn this into black and white to see the luminosity values in the image. If I need to brighten up something or darken down something, this is the way how I like to do it. It's really cool to rest your eyes from the colors a little bit too. Then I painted some light behind that left wall of the canyon, like there is some light source behind that and some light on the left part of that main city, just to match that a little bit better because I like how that looks. And also after I finished that, after I was satisfied with that, I went to Boris FX Optics. I did a tutorial on that, check out my previous video, and I use this plugin to create really cool lens flares in the photo because I love how that looks. And also you will see in a few moments I created another light effect beside the lens flares. And really cool thing about Boris FX Optics is that you can customize everything to fit your exact needs. I went again to Boris FX Optics to apply this really cool light effect. I put a light source inside this hangar in the left part of the city and I think it looks really cool. Then I merged everything together into one layer, went to camera filter and did a final color grading. You already know how I'm doing this because I do it in every single photo manipulation tutorial at the end of my photo manipulation process, and I ended up with this kind of look. Alright guys, so this is it. I really hope that you liked the final result and that you picked up some really cool tips, tricks and techniques and ideas from this episode that you can implement in your future work. Also guys, if you didn't know before about Envato Elements, now you know it. It's a really cool place to get a lot of assets for your projects like we did today. Make sure to follow the link down there in the description if you like to try that out for yourself. Have fun, experiment, practice and practice more, and see you guys in my next fun episode. Bye bye.